Today. We are here for a new series. It's a 4-part series, and I am joined by Keira Lani, Sharon Carne, and Teri Angel. This is the Triune Nature's Bless Humanity series on Enlightened World Network, One with the Earth. We have 4 different sessions coming up. One is today. This is Blessings from the Waterways. June 10th will be Blessings from the Mountains. June 17, Blessings from the Trees. And the series will culminate with a session during Unity Week, which is June 19 through 26. It's going to be called Become a Beacon of Light, Crystalline Grid, Tree, Mountain, and Waterway Blessing. We will be sharing more information about that as we get closer to time. And so now we'd like to start, and we're going to have Teri start our session here today. Thank you, Teri.
Thank you, Ruth. It's such an honor to be here. Let's open our sacred circle today with just feeling into the energy of love, calling on Spirit, asking the Creator to really feel our wishes, our words, our prayers as we go into this circle time. Let's take a big breath in. See that white light coming directly from Source. See yourself gathered here with all that are present and all who will be present. One of the great creations are the archangels. They are our helpers here on planet Earth. And as we gather together today to honor the waterways, we're going to call in the angels from the directions, calling in first from the east with the element of air, Archangel Raphael. Raphael is our healing angel, asking Raphael to bless each of us here that are gathered in circle, as well as blessing the waterways that we're here to honor and revere. Going to the south, let's ask in Archangel Michael. Michael coming in with the energy of fire, helping us to release anything that's not serving us. We can release it into the water. The water takes whatever we give it and transmutes that into a positive energy. From the west, we call in Archangel Gabriel, invoking the beautiful energy of clarity. Gabriel comes with the element of water, and we thank you, Gabriel, for helping us to understand more about water as we go through this circle time today. And from the north, we call in Archangel Uriel, coming to us with the element of earth, grounding us, balancing and centering us so that we can do this work in a safe way, knowing that we are surrounded totally by source energy, by all the angels, as we call in any other of the angelic realm that wants to be here with us. And I'm feeling into those 400,000 earth angels that just floated in and gathered with us. From up above, let's give honor to Metatron and ask Metatron to bring in the crystalline grid right from Source. And from below, Archangel Sandalphon, bringing up the crystalline grid from Earth. We invite in Divine Mother, Christ consciousness, and giving thanks and gratitude to our Creator for overseeing this whole circle time today. I'm going to share with us the words to a song, and I'd love for all of us to sing the song together. It's called The River It Is Flowing, and the words are simple. They're really easy to follow. The river it is flowing, flowing and growing. The river is flowing down to the sea. So join with me, if you would. The river, it is flowing, flowing and growing. The river, it is flowing down to the sea. Mother, carry me, a child I will always be. Mother, carry me down to the sea. Please join with me. The river, it is flowing, flowing and growing. The river, it is flowing down to the sea. Mother, carry me, a child I will always
be.
Mother, carry me down to the sea. Thank you. I love giving honor to our Earth Mother, to the water, and to each one that's gathered here today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Teri. Keira, can you share with us what is a triune? What are we working with here?
Yes. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Teri, for that beautiful blessing and song. I just feel so held in the presence of the angels, Mother, Father, God, and the ocean. Thank you so much. So we as humans exist in a triune nature. The ancient wisdom has shared with us from ancient China and India, from Native Americans, and all indigenous people see this triune nature. We often speak of it as body, mind, and spirit. And yet so many things show up in threes. And so our body, mind, and spirit are connected to the earth, the heavens, and the energy of life in between. So Taoists would say the energy of earth and the energy of heaven spirals together in the Tai Chi, which is that beautiful yin-yang symbol that we all know so well, into the energy of life. So we are a manifestation of this blending of energies, each and every one of us, each and every one of you watching this. And so in our collaboration conversation, we realized that the mountains, the water, and the trees wanted to step forward as representatives of these energies. So the mountains, as you might guess, are very much representing that earth energy. And the water is the blending, and the trees are bringing in that spirit energy. And of course, each one of these, just like each one of you, is holding all of these energies. The mountains are holding water. The trees are bringing water through their roots and connecting to the heavens. The water is connecting everything. And so as we were talking about the beautiful way that the magical way that the creation comes together in our existence and in our experience as humans, we started talking about offering a blessing to the mountains, the water, and the trees. And then we realized that the water, the trees, and the mountains are blessing us. And they are really wanting to give us a blessing and have us fully receive it. When was the last time you really fully allowed yourself to receive the blessing that is always present for you? Today, we are really going to immerse ourselves in the water and the blessing of water, the blessing of life. Water is the foundation, the essence of life. And there is a blessing available for you from the water always. The blessing is always there. Every time you take a drink of water, every time you breathe in, there is water in the air. The water falls from the sky. It flows through the rivers and streams. It ebbs and flows in the ocean. And that blessing of water flows from your tap into your house. You can receive that blessing every time you wash your hands, take a shower, clean your dishes. There is always a blessing there in the water for you. You can send your blessings into the water, and you can receive that blessing from the water. So we are inviting you today to allow this water blessing to touch you on all levels of your triune nature, blessing that most dense physical part of you that expresses in human form, that fluid emotional body that thinks and feels and understands and experiences, and that most ethereal light body that witnesses it all and remains after the physical body transitions into the next form. So thank you so much for your presence. What a blessing it is to be here in sisterhood to bring through this blessing for you.
Thank you, Keira. Sharon?
My gosh, how beautiful to acknowledge this triune nature. Thank you, Keira. And as we acknowledge the presence of this incredible element of water in our lives, I wanted to ask you to go through your images on your phone or on your computer and put them into the chat. Let's share our favorite images of water as we share this time together in this sacred circle for and about water. So as you're looking for your pictures, I wanted to acknowledge the presence of water with a bit of information that we know about this incredible element that surrounds us everywhere, that not only around us, it is part of us. Water covers about water is our most abundant natural resource, and we all know we cannot survive without water. It is essential for us. What, as Keira was saying, it's in the rain, the water vapor in the air, rivers, lakes, ice caps, glaciers, in the ground, in the underground, it is bubbling up through. And about is an interesting information about water is that fresh water, which is what we rely on and what we survive on, is about 2.5% of all of Earth's water, and of covers about, and of all of that, about 31% is accessible for us. About 69% of the fresh water is in our ice caps and in the glaciers in places like the Antarctic and Greenland. And here, so we need to acknowledge that our access for water is very precious to us. And with gratitude in our hearts as we receive that blessing that comes through our taps, that massages our feet as we stand in the waves. Acknowledge that. And one of the things that is so fascinating about water is its availability in certain areas of the world, and the importance for all of us in our gratitude for water is in sharing that water for the people of the world who don't have easy access to it. As keepers and caretakers of this planet, that is part of our mission here, is in sharing the resources we have, acknowledging the resources we have, and then sharing them with the people who don't have access to this incredible and important and necessary resource. We do know that there are many people who transition every year from diseases that result in unsafe drinking water. So part of our responsibility here is in finding ways to provide that for everyone.
Hmm. I love thinking of the power of water to shape our world, and the power that water carries is affecting our life. It is also affecting the land, the environment, the erosion that's caused by rainfall, river flow, waves, glacier movement, thawing, actually shapes our world. And I started thinking about the part of the world where Ruth lives in the western half of the US. You go into the mountains and it looks like you're in the ocean. And so I invite you all to notice how water has shaped your world. And then the power of lack of water. We experience that here on the west coast of the US with a yearly wildfire season that is starting extra early this year. We're already being told what our evacuation guidelines are right now at the beginning of June, because we are in a severe drought. And there are parts of the world that are in even much more severe drought than we are, where there may not even be enough water to sustain life. And drought is the enemy of human civilization, deprives us of our base needs for survival, food and water. The food that we grow depends on the water. And so lack of water will have just as powerful of a transformational effect on our environment as abundant water or too much water. And so recognizing how important it is for our survival to have a balance of water, and remembering you are water. You are composed of mostly water, just like the earth is mostly water. You are mostly water. And the presentation of your body will change dramatically based on how well hydrated you are, how much water is in your body. And this is the main thing that creates signs of aging, is less water held in the body. And if we can maintain our hydration, we can maintain our youth for much longer. And recognizing that water is everywhere. Water exists in a cyclical nature, just like our life is a cycle from birth to death, to the next birth, to the next death. And water exists in a constant cycle. It bubbles out of the ground in the mountains, gathers in streams and rivers, flows into the oceans, evaporates into the clouds, and falls back to the earth in the rain. And so with this cyclical nature of water, it is always moving around the planet. The oceans are all connected in some way, somewhere. The water is all connected. All life is connected. And the water molecules in our bodies are likely from all parts of the world. So you are carrying the water, if you are watching this in Australia, that I am carrying here in the Northwest of the United States. How cool is that?
It is very cool. Thank you, Keira. So when we were bringing all of this information together, I was guided to look into the Bible to see what the Bible had to say about water. There are over 100 passages in the Bible that refer to water either literally or figuratively. In the Christian context, there are many correlations involving water. There are biblical stories about miracles centered on water, such as Jesus changing water into wine, Moses getting water from rocks. Water was used by God to wipe out a wicked population in the story of Noah's flood, and Moses parted the Red Sea. Baptism in the Christian religion is a representation of salvation, and then that's with water to the forehead. Water in the Bible represents the cleansing of the sinner by the washing of the water, which symbolizes the Word of God. Water in the Bible is also the source of the living water that springs up into eternal life. Jesus referred to the Spirit of God, known as the Holy Spirit, as the living water. And finally, God is this source of this living water in both the Old and the New Testament, and those who drink from it will never die, and indeed shall never thirst again.
I'm really feeling that last statement, Ruth. I wanted to emphasize water as God, drinking water. I just wanted to pause for a moment because that feels like such a great impact. Every time you drink a drink of water, you are drinking from the source of all creation. Wow.
That's beautiful.
And water is not just significant in the Bible, but in all ancient texts, in all traditions around the world. Like I mentioned earlier, all indigenous peoples pray with water, honor water as the source of life. And it is probably of the greatest significance in our day-to-day lives as well. Water, it represents life, refreshment, fertility, and birth. When we come into this world, we are formed in a sack of water, and that water flows out either just before, during, or just after our birth if we are born in a sack. We are linked to these cycles of water that I spoke to in our environment. We are not separate from our environment. We are a part of it. And just as water is the container that held you in your birth, water is the container of creation. All ancient creation stories speak of this womb of creation that we are contained within and birthed from. And so taking a moment to feel that sense of the water of creation, the womb of creation, and allowing yourself to be held and nourished by it.
Beautiful. Teri, would you share with us the research from Dr. Emoto?
Yes. Water is the carrier of messages, the universal solvent. The ice crystals are consciousness in the water. Dr. Masaru Emoto can be found at thewellnessenterprise.com/Emoto. His extraordinary life work is documented in the New York Times bestseller, The Hidden Messages in Water. In his book, Dr. Emoto demonstrates how water exposed to loving, benevolent, and compassionate human intention results in something that is aesthetically pleasing and physical molecular formations in the water that's exposed to fearful and discordant human intentions result in disconnected, disfigured, and unpleasant physical molecular formations. He did this through magnetic resonance analysis technology and high-speed photographs. I'm going to share the screen and show you two examples of this. Just a moment here. Okay, so the one on my left is love and gratitude. And you can see how beautiful that looks. To me, it looks like a snowflake. It's very unique. It's flowing. It's beautifully energetic. Those were the words that were written on the container of the water. And that's what happened. That's the transformation that took place in the water. The other slide, the other picture, was something that was written on there that wasn't very pleasant. The words were, "You disgust me." And you can see how there was no symmetrical form that took place. It's all just kind of scattered and not really pleasing to the eyes to look at either, is it? So these are just two examples of the work that Dr. Emoto did. There are so many pictures and so many findings that he did with the water. I have actually one of the cards that were created from Dr. Emoto's photographs. And the words that were written on this container of water is love for humanity. And I love the flow of this one. I love the symmetry of it. It just gives out such a good vibration, I think. I carry this card in my purse at all times. This was a gift that was given to me. And every so often, as I'm digging for something in my purse, this card comes up. And I just smile and take a moment to really get into the flow and the energy of it. So very interesting, isn't it? The power that we have in our words to create, and especially when we're working with water, which is life-sustaining to us. And our bodies are mostly water, as we've mentioned. So when we talk to ourselves, it's so important to do that positive talk as opposed to something that's of low vibration. I'm going to just tune in now. If you'll just take a moment with me. I want to see if the angels have any message at this time for our waterways. So just take a deep breath into your heart with me, calling forth our angels that are here surrounding us, the archangels, the earth angels, asking if there's any message to be brought forth to our waterways here on our planet Earth. Dear ones, as you look upon water, as you put it in your body, cover your body with it, take a moment, just pause and give gratitude. Pause and go into the energy of love. This creation was made for you, dear ones. It sustains your life. It increases the pleasure of your life. It's needed, as was mentioned earlier, to grow the food that also sustains your life. So giving gratitude is the highest honor you can give to your waterways, to the water that you drink, the water you bathe in. Always take a moment to be very conscious of the power of water and of your power in how you react and respond and treat the water that you're surrounded by. Are you diligent in your ways of disposing water, your ways of disposing anything that might go into the water that might harm whatever is living in the water or those who will partake of it? We encourage and invite you to just take a moment and reflect any time that water comes up in your environment, whether you're walking by it, swimming in it, bathing in it, or drinking it. Just pay attention. What are you doing to help improve your environment? What are you doing to help bring more positive energy into that water? We encourage all of you to be more diligent in how you treat your planet Earth. giving it honor, giving it respect, and acknowledging the source where that water came from, the Creator Himself. We encourage you now to just take a moment to reflect on the water that you drink. Speak to the water just as this beautiful, brilliant physicist taught us. Speaking to the water changes the very energy of the water. Look around you. Do you have a vessel that you're using to drink from? You can bless that water that's in the vessel before it goes into your body. You will feel a difference. There is power in your words. And now we look at all the waterways on your planet, and we are asking for each part of your planet that is covered in water to remain calm, to bring in positive energy when it comes into the shore, that when it is gathered for drinking, that it be pure and that it bless the body that it goes into. For all the rivers, all the streams, every place on earth where there is water gathered, we send forth an energy of love, because love is what transforms and heals. And so it is.
Wow, Teri, that was so transformative. I have to pull myself back, actually. It's beautiful.
Me too.
So Sharon and Keira have prepared an experience for us here to enjoy together. So Sharon and Keira, thank you. Thank you for whatever you're going to bring us. I can tell it's going to be beautiful.
Thank you so much. And oh my gosh, Teri, I could feel and see every part of the water, every area of the water, as you were mentioning and honoring all of these. So beautiful. As Keira and I get ready, I have my crystal singing bowl. We have water in our crystal bowls, and this one's been singing away with our voices so much. I had to keep the microphone on mute because it was it's just really singing. This morning when I woke up, these words were in my head, and I'm just getting a big heart nudge to shift the perspective of this as water speaking to us, because I wrote it down differently as the words came through me. This is the perspective that water asked to share. And as we have been speaking about, water sustains us and it feeds our soul in a beautiful way. So here is water's voice, and I have to kind of translate this because I wrote it differently. I, as water, I am a conscious entity. I reflect every part of your life, from reflections of mountains in a lake to reflections of crystalline structures or reflections of lack of structure. I reflect every thought and every feeling you have. In this way, I am an active participant in every moment of your life. I am not an individuated consciousness in the same way that human souls are individuated drops of a one human consciousness. I am a one consciousness living within and around you in perfect symbiotic relationship, responding organically to every one of your moments. I can never be separate from you. And You can never be separate from water in this form. And as Keira and Sharon sound the bowls with the water in them from sacred places, I invite you to allow your being to be quiet for a few moments and receive the blessing from the oneness of water that is within you and around you, as has already been mentioned many times here. And I also repeat, blessings coming through me as water are always there, unconditionally, always there.
Sharon, that was so beautiful. I could feel the water. I'm sitting here holding a giant jug of water that came from the headwaters of the Sacramento River that bubbles out of Mount Shasta. It takes 50 years to get from under Mount Shasta to where it breathes the air of the outside world. And I have not put water in my bowl because I wanted to put it during our ceremony. And but I took the lid off while you were speaking, and I could hear the Shasta water chiming in. So I'm really excited to see what comes through from the water. I love, Sharon, that you asked this question: what would the water pray for us? And so I invite you all, some of the sound may come through of the water entering the bowl. So I invite you all to start receiving this blessing and listen to what blessing is the water giving you that is just for you, as well as what blessing is coming through for the collective. And Sharon and I will also share anything that we hear the water wants us to share with you. So we'll start with just adding some water to the bowl. I was reminded how much the sound of water is a nourishment to my soul and my spirit as I received that blessing.
What's coming through for me from the splashing and the drops is playful, just so excited to be in relationship. It's just boom, hello, hello, hello.
Yes,
it's like, hello, I'm playing, come play with me.
Yes, exactly. So I think we've called in some water fairies, some little water nymphs to join in our ceremony. And we haven't, we're being very spontaneous here. So I'm curious, Sharon, would you like to start sounding your bowl first, and then I will join in with mine? And as we begin sharing the sound, I invite everyone, as Sharon said, to really drop into your breath and feel that you are breathing in the sound, breathing in the water, and with each exhale, absorbing it and really receiving that blessing. And if any profound wisdom the water speaks directly to you feels important to share, we'd love to see it in the chat.
Thank you, Keira. And so perfect. Her name is Belle, this beautiful little crystalline consciousness holding water from the Bow River. It wanted to be in there early. She is asking, the water and Belle are asking for 3 taps 3 times to honor the triune nature of our ceremony. So I'll do that and then start sounding. This is the request.
So beautiful. What I was getting during that was the song by Master Cho, Love, Peace, and Harmony. And I could hear that singing and that energy of the song going out over our planet as you all were playing the bowls and giving honor to the water. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. I'd like to share my screen right now with some words. Let's see if I can get it up here. These words were given by Dr. Nobuo Shioya, who was Japan's oldest Shin, or Enlightened One. Dr. Shioya passed away at the age of 106. While he was alive, he spoke with Dr. Emoto, and he wished that even 10% of the Earth's people would chant this chant, which is known as the Grand Invocation. On the 11th of each month, it's designated as a day of peace, and all who would be so inclined to participate are asked to chant the Great Invocation on that day at noon local time. Dr. Shioya was very intuitive, and he saw some of the disasters like the tsunami that happened in Japan. He saw it before it happened, and he knew what was coming. His words, and I'm going to do the best I can with them in Japanese. Uchu no mugen no chikara ga kori kote, makoto no daiwa no mio ga narinata. Translating that into English, it means the eternal power of the universe has gathered itself to create the world with true and grand harmony. And it is tradition on the 11th of each month in Japan for this grand invocation to be spoken or chanted. So if you so desire, if these words speak to you, just take them into your heart. Take the meaning of them into your heart. Now, please join me in this unity prayer as written by, Nalani Blossom. And today on Facebook, I've shared some of Nalani's beautiful music, her prayers, her way of just blessing the water and blessing our earth. So if you can find those videos that I've shared, please look at those. This is the unity prayer that was written by her. This is a prayer for the unity, the universal harmony, unfolding for all eternity. This is a prayer for humanity, our true and ancient family. May all living beings be free. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. I am unity. I am harmony. I am eternity. I am free. We are humanity. We are community. We are family. And we are free. May all water on our planet flow freely as it was created to do so. May we all, as humanity, honor it, bless it, revere it for its life-giving properties. May the universal source, our creator, pour down blessings of unconditional love into the very water we drink to sustain us. And through that love, may we know our true eternal self. Thank you. Keira, you're muted, honey.
I'm sorry, I couldn't find my Zoom window to unmute myself. Thank you, Teri. I was just saying thank you so much for that beautiful blessing. I can feel it. And when you were speaking of the Japanese prayer, I can't remember what it was called right now. My brain blanks out on things sometimes. But when you were talking about the Japanese prayer to say on the 11th of each month at noon, my Hawaiian auntie, I have a full-blood Hawaiian auntie who is with me from the other side of life. And she always said, when you see 11:11 on the clock, pray for peace. And this is such an important prayer. Say it every time you see 11, anywhere, anytime. And so I invite you all into that. I could feel her presence, and I could really feel the power of that intention, as well as that beautiful blessing you shared afterwards. I invited a poem to come through me this morning. So this is a very fresh poem that just came through today. And it is called Water is Life. Water is life, flowing, always knowing where to go. I am water, flowing with the spirit of life. My knowing is deep inside. Water shapes our world, carving out canyons, dissolving stones to be dripped in formation deep underground. I am water, shaping my world in the form of beauty, of grace, of balance. Water is life, nurturing, healing, moving feelings. I am water, allowing emotions to flow. I become who I am at the core. Water is shaped by the world, following contours, filling containers, overflowing, spreading, absorbing, becoming part of everything. I am water, learning and growing from every experience, expanding and flowing into the next. Water is life, expressed through the infinite form, pulsating through warm-blooded bodies, pumped through roots and trunks, swirling in places unseen. I am water, unified with all I see and know, deeper than the mystery. Water is everywhere, universal solvent, carrier of consciousness, unifying agent. I am water, joining the forces of heaven and earth in a beautiful expression from death to birth. Water is life, gushing forth in abundance, resting in stillness, the ever-changing presence. I am water, fluid and forgiving, embracing death and fully living. I am water. Water is life.
Keira, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Keira. How amazing. I really resonated with that poem and felt the energy of it. Thank you all for being with us today. May the words that were spoken, the sounds that were shared, the images, everything that was brought forth today was brought forth from spirit with a pure agenda of just sharing love, honor, and respect for the waterways and the water on our earth plane. I'd like to close the circle by asking each person here present on Zoom to just speak one word or one sentence that represents what you felt from this blessing that we received today. And I'd like to begin. I have such a new respect for water. I've always loved water. I just enjoy every bit of it. So what I got today was a new respect. Ruth?
I have always loved the ocean. It is such a pull for me. And I hadn't ever really thought about all of the water being connected. And the words that were coming to me at one point when the water was speaking to us was that the water was speaking to us in one accord. So that was new for me. Thank you for that.
Unity. Yeah. Keira.
Oh, so beautiful. When we were playing the bowls and I had my hand on the bowl and the water from Shasta, I could actually feel the vibration flowing through my hand and arm, and it was different than, of course, I've played this bowl many times and I always feel the vibration traveling into my body, yet there was a message from water, and water was speaking to me. Water was not speaking to me here or even here. It was actually speaking to me within the cellular structure of my body. The water in the bowl was speaking to the water molecules of my body, and I got a sense of how much awareness, knowledge, presence, consciousness is in the water molecules inside of my body. And I know I'm going to be listening to them more closely.
Thank you, Sharon.
3 words that came to me right away at the beginning when you started sharing, Teri, is one with water.
I love that. We would also invite anyone hearing this broadcast today to share in the comments what you received from this time together with us in circle, and to just really remember what you received here today, the blessing that was given to each person and the blessing that was given to the water on our planet. I'd like to thank the angels who surrounded us, and I'll go in reverse order to close the circle. Archangel Gabriel, thank you so much for grounding us, balancing, centering us. as we did our sacred work. Archangel Gabriel, thank you for the clarity. Thank you for honoring water right along beside of us today. Archangel Michael, our great protector, our guardian, the one who is always there, always. Thank you. Thank you for being very present today. And Archangel Raphael, thank you for the healing power of coming together in circle and for holding the sacred space right along beside of us. To all the other angels, the masters that were present, Divine Mother, Christ consciousness, and our Creator God, we honor and bless you and thank you for this time together. Thank you so much, my dear friends, and thank you, my sisters, who I had the honor to be here with today. I love you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Teri. Thank you, Keira. Thank you, Sharon. What a beautiful, beautiful time of blessing and learning. So thank you all. And our friends here at Enlightened World Network, thank you. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for loving the planet. And thank you for just expanding your knowledge and your understanding of the blessings of the Triune, the waterways, the mountains, and the trees. So we look forward to seeing you back next week, for the blessings from the mountains. Take good care. So much love, and God bless.